This is episode 3 of Stories from the Unknown Hot Rodder. This one came from the Midwest of the United States. So the driver was making his weekly drive to go help his cousin out for the weekend. Well, about the halfway mark, he was driving through this small town. And at the edge of the small town, there was a set of tracks. And he got this phone call. And the phone call was about his cousin. And the ambulance was being called. Not a phone call that he wanted to hear. But he had to take it. So as he went over the tracks, he pulled out his wallet, set it on the dash of that old land yacht. And he thought that's the only thing he's going to stop for is Johnny Law. So that way he had everything ready. Or for them to take his license away. But as he was getting some of the information on what was going on with his cousin, he picked up the pace in that old land yacht. That big old 120 mile an hour speedometer wasn't big enough that day. He had it up to 90 mile an hour a few times, but never passed by much. That old land yacht picked up the pace and set sail. It wasn't stopping for nothing. It was on a set of rails that day. The forebarrels were popping his ears. The motor wasn't going to stop for nothing. It would have sucked gravel down the intake and chewed it through the motor. It just wasn't stopping for nothing. The road that day, when he got that phone call, he had an eerie feeling of silence. Nobody was around, not a soul on the road. Not a car to pass. Nothing. Just the telephone poles whipping by like a blur. That land yacht was taking bends like it was on a set of rails. The centrifugal force was working good that day. At the halfway mark, it should take a half an hour. But that day, it took way less. An ambulance was 7 minutes away from his cousin, and he managed to beat an ambulance to his cousin. He gave that land yacht everything it had and punched her to the floor. That motor wasn't stopping for nothing. It would have sucked gravel down that day. It wasn't going to kill that motor. He was just hoping that he can get there and help his cousin out.